Hi, I'm Miu Chankere, sharing a reflection on Matthew chapter 9, verse 20 following. This is a story about the woman who suffered from abnormal bleeding for 12 years. In much hope, she thought, if I only touch his garment, I will get well. And so she touched the tassel of the garment of Jesus, and she was made well. She did not simply touch the clothes of Jesus, she touched the tassel of his garment. Numbers chapter 15, verse 38 following talks about how God instructed Moses. They shall make for themselves tassels on the corners of their garments throughout generations, and they shall put on the tassel of each corner a cord of blue. It shall be a tassel for you to look at and remember all the commandments of the Lord. I am the Lord your God who brought you out from the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord your God. The Hebrew word for tassel is tzitzit, and the purpose of such tzitzit is very specific. To remind Israel about their inseparable connection with God and to remind them about the covenant. Tzitzit reminded Israelites of who they were, who God was, and what God required of them. The woman in search of a cure for 12 years. Worse than the strain on the physical and financial strength was the stigma of uncleanliness. For the Jews considered women to be ritually unclean during menstruation. The tzitzit reminded of who she was. It reminded of who God was. It reminded her of what God required of her. Even after being rejected and dealing with her problem for 12 years, she still hold on to it. Is God not stronger than your difficulties? Is God not more powerful than your fear? The world might reject you. You may be an outcast in the eyes of your community. The world might not know what you are going through. But God can see you and He understands your situation. Others might say that you and your situation is hopeless. Others might not understand that situation. But you know what? God has always the last say. He can change what seems unchangeable, giving new purpose and hope. We believe in a God who not only sees but also understands our thoughts and our situation. The woman with the abnormal bleeding for 12 years, at the end, just thought, if I only touch his tzitzit, I will get well. She touched and Jesus met her well. Remember the tzitzit. Be reminded of who you are in Christ Jesus. Be reminded of who God is. And be reminded of what God requires of you. The Lord bless you all.